Hi everyone! I'm Ellyn. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the fragrances that I use the most in 2024, and I have some empties, which is really exciting. It's not every day that you finish a perfume bottle, especially when you have a collection as big as mine. So I'm just gonna get started with the empties because that's the most interesting and exciting thing. So the first one I wanted to share with you is this one. This is called V4 Peace. See, it is by the brand Map of the Heart, and I have a 30 ml bottle here, but if you get the full 100 ml bottle, you get like this heart-shaped bottle, and it's gold and it's really cool. But I just have the 30 ml, and I'm glad I have this one because I don't think I would repurchase it. Well, I know I wouldn't repurchase it. It was really pleasant, but it's not something that I totally loved. But I'm happy to have experienced 30 mls of it at least. It is a very spicy and milky scent, and the spices are like cardamom and black pepper. It was quite a cold spice. It's not very, it smelled kind of warming, but it was also kind of like tinny, metallic, and cold. So it would smell kind of like a cold or room temperature milk that's been infused with spices. So I got a lot of black pepper in the opening, and it was really peppery. It was kind of like would tingle your nose, right? If you crack black pepper with the like that thing, and then you spilled some of it on your skin, like that's kind of what the scent would smell like in the opening. It is sort of mildly sweet, and then you get this milky note that comes out a bit later, and it smelled very nice at that point because it's kind of like it would smell like a skin scent, but milky and like a little bit spicy and sweet, so that was really nice. But I don't think I really connected with the scent, especially because it did smell a bit metallic on me. I think black pepper can do that sometimes. So for that reason, I wouldn't repurchase it. And the lasting power wasn't really that great. And I also wanted to mention that this scent allegedly smells like this really legendary scent by Issey. It's called Le Feu d'Issey. And that one is like a milk and pepper and sandalwood scent. I just wanted to let you know because Le Feu d'Issey is long discontinued, and many people, cry over its discontinuation because it has sort of like this following of people that really love it. So I wanted to mention that this allegedly smells similar to that. I cannot confirm or deny because I've never smelled Le Feu d'Issey. My next empty is this one. This is Vanille Noire du Mexique. It is by La Maison de la Vanille. So this is a vanilla scent. This one is really nice. I really love this one, and I was planning on purchasing a full 100 ml bottle, but I don't need to buy it right now. It is a purchase that I will make in the future because I really adored this one. This was really easy to wear. It wasn't very heavy. It was kind of, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Vanilla Bean Noel from Bath & Body Works, and also Lord of Misrule from Lush. It kind of smells like a mixture of the two, but this one was just a pleasure to wear. It was a bit more deep than a regular baking vanilla, and I actually think the name Vanille Noire du Mexique is a reference to Mexican vanilla. Now, if you read the comments, like the Fragrantica reviews on this scent, some people will say it smells like Nesquik, like cocoa mix or chocolate or something, and some people will complain that there's no chocolate in here. And I feel like maybe the name that includes the word Mexican here is kind of misleading, because maybe some people think it's gonna smell like Mexican chocolate when it actually, I think, is a reference to Mexican vanilla. But the scent does have the note of a Popinax and also patchouli in it, which I guess could lend to the idea of it smelling more chocolatey. I can kind of see why people smell like cocoa powder in here, but for me it really is just like a nice, sweet, slightly rich vanilla that was very easy to wear. Once I wore this to Costco, and I guess I sprayed way too much of it, but I was just walking down an aisle, and then there were these three like ladies that were Costco workers. And then one of them, like, I just heard her behind me. She was like, oh my God, like, it smells so good in here. It smells like a bakery, right? And then I was like, huh, okay. And then the lady next to her was like, oh, you know, they're making danishes in the bakery area at Costco. And she was like, no, 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 no. It smells so good. It smells like vanilla, like maple syrup. I don't know what that is, but you know, it's not the bakery. And I was like, oh, that's me. Oops, you know, it must have been very strong if I left a trail like that, but they really liked it. So, you know, it smells good and it's not super unique or, you know, complicated. It just smells like a good vanilla to me. And so I really love it. So it's very simple, you know, you're not going to get tons of patchouli or Papanax or anything. It's really just primarily, to me, it's just vanilla. And it's very nice and very easy to wear. You're not going to get anything like really crazy or complicated in here. I think the price point is more affordable. You know, it's not the cheapest thing out there, but it's certainly a lot better than paying like $400 for a vanilla. Next, another empty. I really love empties. This is Prada Candy. This is a scent that I really liked at the beginning, and then I really quickly got sick of it around the 1/3 or 2/3 empty mark, just because here's the thing, I really love the scent profile, but I had a Prada Candy flanker. I had Prada Candy Floral, and I wore that a lot during my internship days, maybe like 7 years ago. And this really, you know, the DNA of candy is very strong. So this really reminds me of the Floral that I had. And I wasn't totally in love with that scent. And also it reminds me of my internship days, which it's not that I had very bad memories from there, but I kind of just like would rather not sort of re-experience that time of my life. So for that reason, I emptied this because I went on a huge candy kick, and then I very quickly realized that this was reminding me of that because of the DNA in here. So I just tried my best to finish it off, and like that was it. I still really enjoyed the scent profile, but that memory is kind of like I don't like it. So let me tell you what it smells like. It's caramel and it's kind of musky and sweet. It's a gourmand, and it has that powdery Prada DNA that you might know if you've worn other Prada scents. I think I just love the scent of caramel, and I like musky scents, so this is right up my alley, but sadly I cannot get along with it. The lasting power on my bottle was actually pretty good. I think this is an older bottle because the newer bottles I've heard do not last at all. You know, it just kind of smells like very lightly scented water and then it disappears immediately. So I would recommend testing this. If you like the scent, make sure you test it on your skin before you purchase, just to check the longevity, because I've heard that they don't last as long with the possible reformulations. I don't know about the history of the scent. So that is a very happy empty from me. Oh, this is a 30 ml bottle, by the way. And I think this is the last empty I want to feature. And this is just a decant, and I've finished many decants this year. But this one, I sort of just flew through the first bit of it because I loved it so much, and that's why I want to share it with you guys. But the rest of it, I realized like I was using it too fast, so I kind of just hoarded it. So it's kind of a testament to how much I like this thing. And this is Remarkable People by Etat Libre. This is a musky, juicy grapefruit scent. I really just, this is like the perfect kind of citrus to me because it isn't really, like, it's not very bright. It's not very zingy or citrusy. It's not bitter. It's just very juicy, and it doesn't, you know, have any sort of sharp qualities to it. And when I say sharp, I mean like the sourness or the bitterness or like the scratchy, like any scratchy citrus qualities or like any toilet bowl cleaner quality. Like this doesn't have it. It's just a sweet grapefruit scent. And it has other notes like champagne and cardamom and curry leaf, and I think some people get the curry leaf. I don't really get it at all. If you struggle with citruses and you haven't tried this one, maybe give it a try, because I don't always love citrus, but this type of citrus I really get along with. So this one actually, I tried to nurse my decant for a very long time, and then I got a new job and I was like, okay, maybe it's time to start buying stuff again. So I got myself a nice full bottle on a deal. And now for the scents that I used a lot but did not finish. So I'll start off with this one, because this is the one like kind of disappointing one of this year. This is lait concentré by Chabaud. I mentioned in a different video that I was going to declutter this one, and I still will. I just haven't gotten around to selling my stuff yet because it's hard to sell, and like people around me don't love perfume, so I can't give stuff away. But anyway, I'm decluttering this because the lasting power is just really bad. And actually the next few scents, most of the scents that I used this year, the lasting power isn't that great, which is why I can fly through the bottle. But this one, the lasting power was just so bad that I could not, like, it just angered me. It made me feel irritated that I literally used up this much of the bottle, only to realize that I was annoyed by how short-lived it was, because it's like very lightly scented water. You spray it on, sorry, let me correct myself. It's like lightly scented alcohol. Because when you spray this, I don't know if it's my bottle that's old or something, but when I spray it, it's very alcoholic. It smells like rubbing alcohol. And then I have to wait in order to smell the scent, which is this kind of like roasty, I mean, I call it roasty, but it doesn't smell roasted. It just has this like sweetened condensed milk quality. It's, sweet and lactonic. It's very nice, but it never feels cloying. And I guess part of it is because it's so light, right? And this is not really a super cheap bottle either. So the fact that it's an eau de toilette, it's not really affordable. It smells like alcohol for 2 minutes before you can actually smell the scent. Then you can only smell it for like 5 minutes before it disappears. Like, that's just so unreasonable. It's so annoying, and I'm mad at myself for using up this much of it only to realize that. So I can't even bring myself to finish the rest of it. Like, I have to just get rid of it. Which is unfortunate because the scent itself is very, very nice. Next is another scent that I'm getting rid of, and I've mentioned this scent before as well. This is guerlain, and it's kind of bittersweet that I'm getting rid of this because I've gone through like bottles of the scent. The scent was full like at the beginning of the year, and then I used it a lot, and then I realized like it's getting too perfumey on me, so I'm just going to get rid of it. It's kind of sad because I feel like a chapter of my life is closing now that I'm over this, but it just doesn't smell as good as it used to. And it's not that the bottle has changed, it's just my tastes have changed. It reminds me a lot of the gym. I think I wore this a lot to the gym, and it's not really like a gym scent. So that doesn't really matter. I'm getting rid of it, and I think everyone knows about guerlain. There's tons of reviews online, so you can look up those if you're interested. But this is a nice vanilla bean, tonka, and lavender scent. Next, this one is also terrible in longevity, but I love it so much that I can overlook that. And also when I first spray it, it doesn't smell like alcohol, which is good. This is Radiant Nectar by Clean Reserve, and you can see I used up a ton of it. It is just so easy to wear. It sort of creates a cloud of scent around you that is kind of like a pear and musky and a bit sweet. It's sugary, but it's never cloying. And also it smells like a bubble tea shop to me. I mentioned in my previous video, it kind of smells like brown sugar tapioca. I don't know what it is, but I think there's other people that also smell that in here. Despite the notes being like pear and musk. So this is just something that's super uplifting. It doesn't last that long, but it's not too expensive, so I'm okay with spending money on this. I thought about decluttering it because of the longevity, but I think I'm just gonna go in the opposite direction and buy like a big bottle, so it's okay for me to kind of douse myself. Next is another light and fun scent. This is another citrus, which is interesting because I keep saying I don't love citruses, but I think this is the type of citrus that I like. It's not super zingy and it's not bitter. It's not super fresh. It's just very juicy and it kind of smells like, I mean, this one kind of smells like orange juice. This is called Spice Orange by the Body Shop. And I've been holding myself back on wearing this, but you can still see, you know, this is just like 1 month of use and I've been sort of limiting myself because I need to wear other things. This one goes on so easily. I can just douse myself and I'll never feel weighed down. It smells very much like Christmas, really festive. I would recommend you check this out if you can near a the Body Shop. Because I think it only comes out sort of around this time of year and then they get rid of it in the summer. Next, this scent, again, it doesn't last, so that's why it's here. That's why I used up so much. This is called Violette Imperiale. It's by Historiae Parfum. I mentioned this in the sense that I want to finish in 2025, but this is a really, really pretty raspberry and violet scent. It reminds me of like sugar plum fairies. I don't know if that has like a smell. It doesn't smell like plum or anything or sugar, but it's just like a fairy type scent to me. It's so light and whimsical and pretty, and it's a little bit fruity with this raspberry note, and I love raspberry, but it doesn't last. It's so annoying to spend not a ton of money. Like, this one isn't particularly expensive, but it's kind of hard to get because there's no retailer for this in North America. And I even had a backup bottle and I sold it because the longevity just annoyed me so much. And I've been wondering why some scents, like, I'm okay with the longevity being bad, while others I get really annoyed. And I think with this bottle and also with the lait concentré, I would wear this outdoors to see people, and I think like I would want them to smell this on me, and the fact that it just disappears immediately is what annoys me. However, when I wear scents like the Clean Reserve one or this like spiced orange one, I'll just wear them at home, and like I wouldn't wear this to go out with people, so I don't really mind that it doesn't last long because it's just something that I like at home. So anyway, back to Violette Imperiale. The lasting power is just so bad. I went through this much in probably like 1 month. Every time I went out, I would like reapply all the time just because it didn't last. So I want to finish this up, and I'm so sad because it's such a pretty scent. It's like a little bit powdery. It smells a little tiny bit like those violet, like Parma violets, I think, or like the violet candies. I always forget what they're called. I definitely have other scents in my collection that are like this, the same scent profile, but last longer. And I don't want to declutter this one, but just know that I use this much because it's like worse than body spray when it comes to performance. Next is a accessible one. This one is called Pain Parfait. It's by Le Monde Gourmand, and you can find it at Winners or TJ Maxx or wherever, you know, wherever they carry this. Now, this is a caramel scent. I think the #1 note in here is caramel, and it's very designer, sort of pleasant and sweet caramel scent. And then it has this subtle sort of pine quality, but it's a very designer interpretation of pine. It's super approachable. It's very how do I say this? Okay, so I have a Juicy Couture, like a velour tracksuit, and I remember specifically like wearing the tracksuit or just like wearing the Juicy Couture pants or whatever, and like I would always reach for this for some reason. And I think this really, I don't know if it smells like the Juicy Couture scents, but it kind of just makes me feel like very girly, and it's, you know, it's so cheap, but it smells good, and I can kind of just like do this and be very like Y2K or whatever. It just really fit that sort of vibe. So maybe you can get what I'm saying. It's like a sweet scent, and it's not complicated. It's super straightforward. It doesn't change on your skin. It, like, whatever you smell out of the cap is just what you get. And the last sort of affordable scent that I want to mention is this one by Ravageur et Gallet. This is called Fleur de Figuier. And you can see, I showed this in a recent haul of mine, but I have used up so much. I've had to restrain myself from using this. The lasting power is really bad again, which is why I've used up so much. But I really just love how you can kind of get an like, I don't know how to describe it, like an even distribution of scent over your body instead of just having to spray like a point here and a point here. Like you can kind of just do this and it smells good. I just like having this sort of like perfume shower, if that makes sense. It just feels very nice and fun. But the scent itself is really bright and refreshing. And I wouldn't call it bright in the citrus scent. It's very juicy again, but it's just so happy and it's a little bit floral. The note in here is fig, of course. The scent itself smells very nostalgic to me, and I don't know like where I've smelled this in the past, but it smells super good. And the perfumer behind this is Francis Kurkdjian, and it smells a little bit like, I think it's like Dior Riviera. I mentioned this in my previous video and I never bothered to check, but I think it's Dior Riviera that it smells like. So it's super high quality for something that is at a very affordable price point, in my opinion. I can get this at a discounter, so I don't know how much it actually costs for retail, but it's really affordable at the discounter. For sure, I will get another bottle once this one runs out. As I said, I've been restraining myself, which is why the dent is only that big instead of like down here or something. I just acquired this. It's very bright and fun and sort of youthful smelling, and I just imagine kind of like a girl in her sundress and it's warming up. It's like spring turning into summer and it's nice and sunny and you're like going out, you're like the prettiest girl in the world. So I really, really love this one. So the last scent I want to mention is this one by Maurice. Sorry, it's not by Maurice Roussel. That's the perfumer. It's by Frederic Malle. This is called Musc Ravageur. It is a very sexy, very sweet, very cinnamony and musky and vanillic scent. I would even qualify this as like a semi-gourmand, you know, in my opinion, because it has a lot of cinnamon and vanilla in it, even though the primary note is musk. And it's interesting because if you see, my bottle is the new formulation, so it has the plastic, like the shiny plastic cap. The older formulas, I mean, I shouldn't even, like, I feel weird even calling it the newer formulation because this formula has been around for so long. The very first formula of Musc Ravageur was very musky. It was very sort of like sexy and animalic. And if you compare the two against each other, the newer Musc Ravageur is so cinnamony. It has a ton of cinnamon in it. And I think, you know, it could be called like cinnamon ravageur instead of Musc Ravageur. So I wore it a lot during this time of year, like the holidays, because of the spices, but it's also sweet and it smells very luxurious. So I would recommend checking this out, especially if you're kind of like entering the niche world and you want to explore a bit more unique creations. You can sample this at like Holt's or like Saks. I don't know. I'm not sure. Any of those like luxury department stores, you can try this out because I think it's still pretty approachable, but you can kind of get a sense of what different styles of perfumery is like as compared to designers, if that's just what you're used to. So I've definitely seen comments about the scent that say the musk smells like the public washroom or like unwashed body parts, like urine, you know, just like dirty and gross. And I can kind of see where people are coming from with those comments. It's all about how you smell things and how you perceive them. So even though I think this is a very sexy scent, like I can see why other people would say these negative things about this scent, and I highly recommend you test it because this one is something that changes on your skin as well. So hopefully I didn't ramble on for too long. That's the end of the video. I've been talking all day and now I'm filming this video, so I'm not the most coherent. I'm very tired. I'm sorry, but I would love to hear about what you wore a lot this year, like whatever you finished or things that you decluttered, things that you fell in love with. Just let me know in the comments. I really love to hear from you guys, and I'm so bad about replying because my social battery is very low at this time of year. So yeah, please drop me a comment, and I hope you guys are having an amazing holiday, and I will see you possibly in the new year. Bye!